My next interview here at Turning Point USA in Phoenix, Arizona is with Caroline Joyous. I'm going to tell you something. If you don't know Caroline Joyous, after this interview, you're going to want to follow her more on all of her social media because she is awesome. She's filled with the Spirit. She's passionate about America and freedom. Well, let me let you find out. Caroline,
oh my goodness, thank you so much, Mr. Wallis, for having me back on. You know, I first came onto your show when I was probably 15 or 16 years old here with my dad, and it's just such an honor to join you again. I love tuning in. I love being a guest on your show. It's such an honor every single time, and I sincerely mean that. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, the honor's all mine because not only do I feel the goodness of your heart, because of you're so Spirit-filled.
Thank you.
I mean, your heart is for God. Your love and passion for America is just. It's something that I feel. I'm honored. I'm honored to be around you.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to be with you today. I'm so excited.
Well, let's talk a little business about Turning Point USA. You know, let's let people know how Turning Point brings more people together. How are you working with Turning Point?
Yes, sir.
What are y'all doing to bring more people together?
So I first found out about Turning Point USA back in 2020. Just clips of Charlie Kirk would come up on my Instagram, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's really sharp. I really like what he's thinking." He you know. Watching him kind of turned me into more of an independent thinker, but I was kind of captivated by him. This is when Turning Point USA still was not nearly as big as it is today, and I just started to go into conferences. My first conference was the Young Women's Leadership Summit in 2021. I love being around a bunch of like-minded individuals who love Jesus, who love America, who want to stand on God's word. It was so encouraging, like nothing I'd ever been before. And I kind of became addicted, honestly. You know how it is here. It's so energizing. You never want to leave.
It's happy.
Exactly. Everyone is so filled with the joy of the Lord.
Right.
It's like, man, I just
And America.
Absolutely. And it's like
freedom.
100%. I'm like, I don't want to leave. At the same time, it's important for us to get out and influence culture, you know, and influence our colleges and our workplaces. So we have to leave. But it's a good place to like re-energize ourselves. Anywho, how I got involved, like I said, I just kind of became addicted to the conferences, and over time I became an ambassador for them. I'm still an ambassador for them. I love what they're about. As you said, Turning Point USA stands for God, America, freedom, God's truth, and common sense. So I absolutely love this organization. Love what they're about. It has brought me some of my best friends in the whole world, so it's including you.
I love
I'm so happy
absolutely.
that it has brought us together, and it's led to me now getting to do this and talk to your awesome viewers. But yes, sir, that's really what Turning Point USA is about. I absolutely love it, and definitely going to be coming to these conferences for the indefinite future.
Indefinite future, I love it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, because this is the main one that you go to, but I see you on Instagram, and you're so involved. How do people find you on Instagram?
Yes, sir. You can go to Instagram at Caroline Joyous. I'm a songwriter. I write Christian music, country music, but I'm also super active in politics, really care about our country, and post about Jesus all the time. I'm a Jesus freak, y'all.
And you're young, so you are hope for our future.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Well, you know what? It is your generation, my grandparents' generation, my parents' generation that has paved the way for us to be bold. And you guys, y'all's example is still so important and so vital for us, because like we need a blueprint. We need someone to look up to see like how are y'all doing it so that we can follow in your footsteps. So you are equally, if not more important than our generation.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Well, you know, as positive as you are and we are, and as positive people are, like in this convention, people are so positive about what the good things are about to come. But we got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. The devil has hands in our country for a long time. And that's not just in our churches, it's not just in our schools, it's in our bureaucratic agencies that create rules and laws that circumvent our Constitution. It's in our schools where they're trying to indoctrinate children. As a matter of fact, the interview I did a little while ago, the girl was talking about how they were trying to indoctrinate her when she did go to school. That's why her parents pulled her out, you know, because they're trying to teach BCE, not BC. Yeah. Either way, it's all these little subtle things. So we got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
We got to stay positive. What do you see as some of the top 2, 3, 4 things that we need to work on once Trump takes office, that we need to work on to reverse that work of the devil, what things he has hands in, reverse the evil of government and the bureaucratic agency, what they do? What comes to your mind?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, that is such a good question. And like you said, it is completely a spiritual war that we're fighting. Just because we won elections, just because we took back the White House, we have the Senate and the House, which is amazing and a miracle in and of itself. Just because that's happened, that doesn't mean that we need to be complacent and step back. We actually should be bolder than that. Exactly. Yeah. We have an opportunity to really change things for the long run, which is super exciting. This is totally evidence of like our answered prayers, God's hand on this country, and us getting out and voting, which is amazing, you know. But as far as the three things that I say we really need to like zone in on when Trump gets into office, as individuals, I say representing Jesus no matter where we go. I know it sounds cliche, but that is most important. We can't save America without first coming to our knees and praying and asking God, but also going out and representing Jesus. Because ultimately, if we have revival, that is going to be far more influential for America's future than any kind of election ever will be. So being bold about Jesus in our jobs, you know, in the middle of politics and culture, just being bold about our faith and sharing his truth, and actually sharing his truth bolder than we ever have before.
Absolutely.
Now that we have the opportunity to. You know, I've been talking to a lot of my friends who go to liberal colleges, and they've told me that ever since Trump won in November, which is, I love to say that, you know, ever since he won.
It's every 4 years that he's won in November, right?
Yes, sir, exactly. Exactly. But ever since he won, I've been told by a lot of my friends that go to liberal colleges, like, that their friends have been bolder than ever before, because they finally feel like they aren't the minority anymore.
Exactly.
And it's a lot easier to be loud when you feel like you have people surrounding you. Like here, it's a lot easier to be bold and to voice your opinions.
Wear
because
your Trump hat, Trump shirt, Trump gown, all that stuff.
Sure. You can be totally bold about your convictions. But I say do that more now than ever. But as far as things that President Trump needs to do, the number one thing I would love to see him lock in on is abortion. I know this is like a really far-fetched thing. It shouldn't be. It's common sense. It's human rights. I would love to see a federal abortion ban. Now that he has the opportunity to do that, I would love for him to do it. I know, you know, the rights have gone back to the states in the past.
But that's what those leftists are afraid he's going to do.
Yes, absolutely. They are afraid he's going to do it, and I understand that President Trump's abortion policy
You're just praying that they will understand after it gets done that it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely. If I could pick the first thing that President Trump did when he got into office, it would be that. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I'm not giving up hope just yet.
Okay.
But absolutely, and just securing our borders, getting rid of the illegals. Sorry, I'm pretty blunt, but
they took our jobs.
Those are the top 3 points for now.
Yeah. Those are the top 2 things. But you know what? When you dilute American values with the values of the mentality of people who operate illegally, as innocent as they want to portray people coming to America as, the reality is we have a lot of criminals coming in.
Absolutely.
And the mentality,
we don't know who's coming in.
Yeah, the mentality that you can just come in and get free stuff, you know, that in itself is an illegal mentality.
Absolutely.
And that's what we don't need to dilute the American values that hold this country together.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's one of the things. So I ask everybody this. I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay, go for it.
Where is freedom most under attack in America?
That is a really good question.
I know. I ask everybody to say this one question because everybody seems to have a different answer. And what's funny is, like, sometimes we're talking to somebody about gun rights or the First Amendment or religion, and you might think that that's their answer, but they might have something totally different.
Absolutely.
And sometimes their answer is just that, you know. But
yes.
But everybody has a unique opinion. What comes to your mind when I say, where are we losing freedom in America?
I'd say freedom is most under attack when it comes to life. The government is coming for millions of innocent unborn babies every year, and you and I are paying for it with our taxpayer dollars. So I'd say that's where our freedom is most under attack. And that's not just talking about life, but it's also our religious liberty. Because as a Christian, I mean, as a person, I'm for the unborn, but also as a believer, I know that God created us in our mother's womb. He knew us before we were even born, and we know that life is just as invaluable in the womb as outside of the womb. And so I'd say as a Christian, my beliefs are under attack in that area, but also just as a human being, human rights are under attack, and our freedom is definitely being attacked in that area.
Your answer gave me a thought. So our government spends money on abortions.
Yes. Yeah.
So that means that our tax dollars are going to fund abortions.
Going to Planned Parenthood.
Okay, yeah. Exactly right. So when one day comes that we meet our Maker, you know, are we going to be asked why we helped fund a government that paid for abortions?
Yep.
That paid for the ending of innocent life.
That's right.
While it's hard to say we're not going to pay our taxes because the IRS will just come get us, and we kind of have to almost, would that federal abortion ban that you're talking about, do you think a good first step might be for Donald Trump to ban all funding of abortions through Planned Parenthood as a start to help end abortions?
I love that. That is 100%. That is brilliant. I hope that he does that. President Trump, if you hear this,
there you go, President Trump.
We would love for you to do that. That is a
just
brilliant idea,
ban federal,
Mr. Wallis.
like if you can't ban abortion, make a federal ban.
That is a great way to start.
Ban the federal funding.
Absolutely, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I mean, like, think about that.
Yeah.
And maybe take that money and redirect it to help mothers to make a better decision on how to take care of children, or how to give that funding to mothers who need help, who are in that moment of despair, where others are trying to convince them that abortion is the right thing, that they have a fund that they can turn to be able to help make the decision to raise their child.
Absolutely. And to add to that, I don't want people to think I'm insensitive to the mothers. I'm pro-life because, and I'm sure you are too, also because of the mothers, not just the baby. Someone I'm very close to, actually a part of my family, had an abortion and really, really has regretted it. But I've seen how that decision impacted her and how much she deeply regrets that. She became saved after the fact, and it's just like, man, it would have been awesome had that never been an option to begin with. And also I have a little sister who's adopted, and I'm so glad that her mother chose life when she didn't have to, because abortion was legal in Alabama at that time. And so, yeah, you look at the suicide rates. Yes, sir, exactly. She's a huge blessing to me, but you look at the suicide rates, the depression rates of women who have had abortion, and they're skyrocket. They're super high.
Right.
So, yes, sir, absolutely. I think that is a wonderful idea to direct funding from Planned Parenthood to organizations that help the mother and help the babies as well.
We brainstormed that together just now.
That's awesome. I love it.
Go us. I love it.
I love it.
So, any final words for the people that might want to attend a Turning Point event in the future?
Absolutely.
Because your role as a Turning Point ambassador is to do what?
Oh my goodness, honestly, it's just to tell you guys how awesome it is. They don't pay me to be an ambassador. They pay me for me to come and everything, but I obviously want to come. It's an amazing event. But all I have to say is, if you're wondering whether or not you should come. It's awesome. If you love Jesus, if you love America, you're going to love it. Also, guys, one last thing. Don't stop listening to Mr. Wallis. He is amazing. My friend here, he is just so awesome. The Lord is using him in wonderful ways, and it's such a blessing to know you. Thank you for having me on.
No, you're welcome, and thank you so much. Everybody else, please, not only do I appreciate that you watched the interview, I would be grateful if you shared the interview as a way to not only protect American values, protect religious values, but to help others be able to do the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you.